Find the exact value of each of the following under the given conditions below. So tangent alpha is given -5/12, and this alpha lies in between pi/2 90 degrees through 180. So alpha is in second quadrant. Sine beta is given by √3/2, and beta is in between 0 and pi/2, means in the first quadrant. So these two values are given. Now we are asked to find sine alpha plus beta. So we know that sine alpha plus beta is not simply sine alpha plus sine beta. That's not true. According to a formula, some formula, sine alpha plus beta is given by sine alpha cosine beta plus cosine alpha sine beta. Okay, that means to find the value of sine alpha plus beta, we need the values of sine alpha, which is not given. So based on tangent alpha, we are supposed to find the value of sine alpha. Cosine beta, that value should be found using sine alpha. And cosine alpha from here, sine beta is here. So before I start this, let me put these two values in a right triangle in the correct quadrant and find all three sides of a right triangle from which we can find any trig function. Okay, so let me back up. So based on this triangle, tangent alpha equals -5/12 based on this value, and alpha is in pi/2 to pi second quadrant. So it does not have to be exact, but second quadrant is here. This is pi/2 and this is pi. Okay, and we know that tangent is opposite over adjacent, and negative. So when we go to the left, it's negative, and we have opposite over adjacent. So alpha is somewhere, I don't know, it doesn't have to be exact, something like this. Okay, that's the opposite over adjacent is tangent. So this is alpha angle, 5/12. Look at this, this length is negative, so -12, and this length is 5. So tangent alpha is -5/12, and alpha in second quadrant means we got this right triangle. Since we have two sides, now we can find this hypotenuse. We know that a square plus b square equals c squared. So if we say this is c, then -12 squared plus 5 squared is c squared. -12 squared, -12 times -12, 144 plus 25 equals c squared. 169 equals c squared. Take square root both sides, so c is 13. So this value is 13 in fact. Okay, we just found this one using Pythagorean theorem to be 13. Now we need to do the same thing for this beta angle, which is in first quadrant, kind of easier. And we know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So √3/2. So √3/2. It does not have to be exact. So this angle is beta, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So this is √3/2. So we are missing adjacent. So, and we know that a square plus b square equals c squared. So a squared plus √3 squared, which is 3, equals 2 squared. So that's 4. This is 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. So a square equals 4. This is 3. Minus 3 means 1. Take a square root both sides. A equals 1. So this is positive. So this is 1. So adjacent, we just found that to be 1. So let me write here. Now we have all three sides. So any trig function of angle beta can be found. From here, any trig function of angle alpha can be found from here. Okay, now let's do these problems. So in part A, we got sine alpha plus beta. Okay, so in part A, we got sine alpha plus beta, which by the formula, sine of sum is sine alpha cosine beta plus cosine alpha sine beta. Review your formula. This is not simply sine alpha plus sine beta. That's not the case. Now sine alpha. So alpha means this triangle. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So 5/13. Cosine beta. So we have to go to this triangle. So cosine beta is adjacent over hypotenuse. So 1/2. Plus cosine alpha, back to this triangle. Cosine alpha -12/13 times sine beta, we need to go here, √3/2. Now we have 13 times 2, 26, 5 times 1, 5 over 26. I did not see any cancellation, so we multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, and here positive negative means minus sign here. Okay, 2 goes 6 times, but 13 times 2 is 26, so we have 26. So I'm going to write this as 26 so that we'll have this same common denominator. 26 on the top, 12 and √3 we cannot multiply, just 12/3. Now when we combine these two fractions, we cannot do anything. 26 is the common denominator, 5 minus 12/3. These are unlike terms, so leave here. This is it. Okay. In the same way, cosine alpha plus beta. In part B, cosine alpha plus beta, using some formula, cosine of alpha plus beta is cosine alpha cosine beta minus sine alpha sine beta. Review your formula. Now cosine alpha, you can go to this triangle, -12/13. Cosine beta, in fact it was found here as well. I mean, cosine beta was 1/2 minus sine alpha was 5/13. Sine beta was √3/2. Okay, or you can go back and check, same thing. This is in fact not going to simplify. 2 goes 6 times, but 13 times 2, 26, 13 times 2, 26 on the bottom, and that will be easier. So I'm going to write down, I'm skipping one step, 26 common denominator, -12 times 1, -12. Oh, here -5/3. And these are unlike terms, so can't do anything, just leave there. -12 minus 5/3 all over 26. Do not cancel, because there is nothing common in these two terms that cancels with 26. That's it. In part C, we got sine alpha minus beta. Oh, sine alpha minus beta is pretty much this, right? Okay, like a sine alpha minus beta. So plus means plus, minus means minus there. Okay, I can tell you the formula. Sine alpha plus beta, this plus means plus here, minus means minus here. So when this is minus here, minus in negative, plus, so plus. So you don't have to do any work. Just looking at this, this will be 5 plus 12/3 all over 26. And part D is tangent alpha minus beta. Tangent alpha minus beta. Look at the formula for tangent difference of angles. That is tangent alpha minus tangent beta all over 1 plus tangent alpha tangent beta. So tangent alpha from this triangle, in fact tangent alpha was given -5/12, 5 over -12. So this one is -5/12 minus tangent beta. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, so √3/2. Sorry, root 3 over 1, just root 3, all over 1 plus tangent alpha, this is tangent alpha, negative 5 over 12, tangent beta, we just found root 3. Now we need to simplify this complex fraction and we are done. So on the top, to combine these two fractions, we always need to make common denominator. So 12, so we multiply second fraction by 12 over 12. And here same thing, 12, so we multiply 1 by 12 over 12. So this is the original division, this one. Okay, on the top we got 12 common denominator, so that's negative 5. Now 12 root 3 minus 12 root 3. These are unlike terms, we can't do anything. On the bottom we were supposed to multiply these two times, then add with 1. So 12 is the common denominator, so we made that 12. That leaves 12 times 1, 12 as a first term. Here is plus and negative sign, so it's minus 5 times root 3, just 5 root 3. Now we have a fraction divided by another fraction. So we keep this fraction, change this division into multiplication and flip. Flip means 12 goes on the top. So I'm going to skip one step. When you flip, this 12 cancel. And the rest is the answer. So whatever left over, negative 5 minus 12 root 3 on the top divided by 12 minus 5 root 3. You don't have to rationalize this one. I mean, pretty much not a nice answer, but this is it. We cannot do anything more. Final.